You're listening to When Isabel Met Aviva, a podcast about rom-coms, female-driven screenwriting, and how to break into the entertainment industry. I'm Aviva.
And I'm Isabel.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We are so excited today because we have a guest, which is novel for us.
It's our first guest.
And this guest is so exciting. It is our friend Carley Smale. And she is a Christmas screenwriter, and she has an amazing filmography. Like, this is her career. She is a goal.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, she has goals, as they say.
She's a Christmas.
And she has a lot of credits on Lifetime and now Hallmark. And it was so exciting when she said yes to speak with us all about screenwriting and rom-coms and Christmas.
Yeah, I guess we can kind of say that this is like the kickoff for the holidays on our podcast, right? Carley sounds awesome. So let's get Carley to join in, and we're excited to chat with her. So welcome, Carley, to our podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Carley, for being
I'm just meeting you now for the first time.
Yeah, Isabel, meet Carley.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me. This
Thank
is very
you for
fun and
coming
exciting.
on. You guys have met before, just virtually, or how did you guys meet?
We met through Twitter.
Oh,
and we've never met in person, but I feel like
okay.
it's bound to happen because I really want to visit Seattle.
To Forks, Washington. We need to go
there.
there.
We can meet in Forks.
I've never been, and it's a dream, and I know
my gosh,
Carley is also into Twilight, so.
Wow, I'm
the first
sensing a Twilight
soundtrack
trip coming our way.
Yes, I would love that. But yeah, then we just became, I guess, Instagram, Facebook friends. But so that's our origin story.
Do you guys remember how you connected on Twitter? Was it just a tweet that one of you tweeted something and you liked it, and then it led to your DMs?
I was wondering if Carley remembered. In my head, I thought maybe we met through Facebook, actually, but I guess it was Twitter.
Yeah, it was definitely Twitter. I don't remember the tweet that connected us.
It's probably about rom-coms or something.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't have Twitter anymore, or else I'd look back. But
So
yeah,
you were one of the people who left Twitter for real.
Yeah, I know. I kind of miss it because it was a fun screenwriting community, but I just was like, I was getting kind of nervous because I was like, a lot of people were getting in trouble about tweets, and I was like, I don't want to accidentally make a joke, and then my career is over, you know? Like, not that I would say anything offensive, but I was just like, I don't know.
You never know, I guess. Like, what could be offensive to somebody.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was
just
just like,
careful.
I'm going to just bow out, you know? But I'm glad that, are you guys still on it?
Yeah, I stayed. Isabel left for a little bit and came back.
Okay.
It's just been chaotic with all the changes and it being called X and everything. But yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah, cool.
Viva is a long-time Twitterer.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a diehard fan. No matter what happens, I refuse to leave.
Yeah.
We were talking about in our first podcast a lot about how both of us got into screenwriting. So I think just from reading your bio and reading the script, I was kind of curious to know both how you got into screenwriting and how you got into specifically writing Christmas movies and writing for Hallmark.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So first and foremost, like, my deep love of movies and rom-coms specifically was a huge part of my childhood, adolescence. And so in my grade 12 year, I made like a short film that got into a festival in Toronto. And like, at the time it was like very exciting. And my teacher really encouraged me to go to film school, but I didn't listen to him. I went to this other university and studied like cultural studies and politics for a year. And then I dropped out of that school and went to film school because I was like, there's something about, I want to do something with movies. I don't know what, but there's something like I want to follow my passion of movies in some way. So then I went to Humber in Toronto, and in my senior, whatever it's called, fourth year, I specialized in screenwriting.
Okay.
Wrote my first screenplay, and then my teacher emailed me and was like, you should intern at this company that makes all these like MOW type movies. And at the time I had no idea what a Hallmark movie was, or like I didn't even know what a made-for-TV movie was. I was just like, okay, they make stuff that actually gets, put on TV. That's cool. And then I worked there for, I interned there for a year, and then they hired me on full time once I graduated. And I just kept bugging my boss over and over with different ideas I had. And eventually one of them sold, and it was a Christmas movie. And basically after that, he was like, you're going to be on Christmas. Like, that's what you're going to focus on.
Christmas writer.
Yeah. People in the office called me the Christmas wizard, which is pretty funny.
That's a good nickname
and then
to have.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in 2015, I decided to leave that job and try and do it full time. And I've worked fairly consistently since about 2017. There was a year and a half in between where I was like, oh my gosh, I've made a horrible mistake. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then now it's been pretty consistent. So I've been really lucky.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're so prolific. I
know. I mean, just like when we were like looking you up a little bit before, at least when I was like, wow, she has so many credits. This is really cool.
So many credits. It's so impressive. Goals.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. I was really lucky because the place I worked at, they gave me my first writing credit. And once you have your first writing credit, people take you way more seriously. Like agents actually want to talk to you and stuff, and managers. So I'm really, really lucky that he gave me that first writing credit. Yeah.
So after you got your first writing credit, did you have an agent or manager when you were like in the process of writing that first one, or did you get one after?
No, I didn't have an agent or anything. I was paid really, really a small amount, but I didn't care at all, right? Because I'm just like, I just want the writing credit. And then when I left, that's when I started reaching out to agents and stuff, and then they deal with all that like awkward money stuff. But yeah, I spent the year between leaving that job. I moved back home with my parents. I spent that year just writing spec scripts, and so I would have like a portfolio to show an agent when I was ready. They were both Christmas movies, so I really was being very specific about, I'm going to write these like Hallmark Christmas movies. And it worked out. Yeah.
But you ended up, it looks like in your filmography, it's all Lifetime until more recently. Is that correct?
It's true. Yeah.
Yes.
The first two I wrote on spec, they both sold to Lifetime. So, I was working a lot with Lifetime. And then this year I'm doing more for Hallmark. So I don't know. It's just kind of like ebbs and flows. I just go where I'm told.
And we had a question about the differences between writing for Hallmark versus Lifetime. Is there a big difference with comedy and, just the restraints that you might have?
Yeah. There's not a ton of difference, but I would say Lifetime, you could be just like a tiny bit edgier, just like a little bit. There was a movie I did called Snowed In Christmas, and like one of the actors improvised a line where he said, "It scares the hell out of me," and Lifetime kept it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
It's like R-rated for that.
Yeah,
gosh, yeah. That was a PG-13 Lifetime movie.
I know, right? Whereas like
it's funny.
Hallmark would never keep that, you know what I mean? So it's, you can make a tiny bit edgier with Lifetime, but they're both, you guys still have to be quite wholesome, family oriented with these Christmas movies, no matter like what network you're
and then the act break, there is a difference in number of acts. Is that correct, between Hallmark and Lifetime? No, it's the same amount.
Yeah, it's all 9 acts.
9 acts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Why are there 9 acts?
Honestly, it's just for commercials. There's a certain amount of blocked time for commercials between each act. I'm like looking at the template right now, actually. It was like a very helpful template to get, because it's like act 1, 20 minutes, act 2, 15 minutes, so that really helps when you're writing to have the exact
I guess too, is it so that you have like certain cliffhangers, right? Like before the commercial, then you're like, are they gonna kiss? Is she gonna be? Do you always write Christmas movies, or do you want to branch out? Do you see yourself branching out, or are you the Christmas wizard? Is that is that going to be your trademark?
I would be totally cool if that was my trademark, but I just was in Niagara Falls shooting my first, like I wasn't shooting, but I was watching the set of my first non-Christmas. So it's still a rom-com, but it's not Christmas. So that was very exciting. It'll be more of a summery one. And then I'm actually doing the UCLA extension course right now, where basically it's 4 parts and it takes about a year in total. And you pick one project to work on the whole time. And you just have like really great feedback from your teacher and peers. And I'm working on one right now that's like so totally different. It's a teen comedy, like R-rated, like so not anything that I've ever done before. But I've had this idea in my head for a while. So yeah, it's not just Christmas is the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we were also going to ask you, do you personally love Christmas? Is like Christmas your favorite holiday?
I do love Christmas. I loved it so much as a kid. Now that I'm an adult, I'm like, it's very expensive and it's a little bit stressful, but I still love it. Like I have a niece and nephew now and they've made it so much more fun again, just, buying them toys and stuff. But yeah, I definitely do love Christmas. Do you guys are you into the holidays?
Yeah, I feel like I recently realized that I do really love the holidays. I love the this time of year when everyone starts to put their decorations out, all the themes come into play, and I love all the Christmas music and the decorations. I'm going to Minnesota this year for my first Minnesota Christmas. My sister lives there.
Sounds very Hallmark.
Yeah, I know, very Hallmark setting.
You'll be in a small town.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, small town. I'm hoping to meet a lumberjack or like a fly fisher.
Yeah,
it'll happen.
We are going
to
we're going to some holiday thing where I guess the lake freezes over and then there's going to be food trucks and events.
Whoa.
I'm kind of scared I'm going to fall into the lake, even though multiple people have told me that it's not possible for that to happen.
Oh, it's on the ice.
Yeah, on the ice.
Be a meet cute.
Yeah,
a guy will
fall
rescue
into
you.
the ice. Yeah. Some lumberjack man rescues me.
You get hypothermia. It's super.
Guys, this could happen.
He's just ice fishing nearby.
I totally fall into the ice fishing hole.
The hole.
I mean, honestly, that would be my dream, to meet somebody that way. And then
you should write it.
around me.
Write it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also do love the holidays. I feel like I haven't really celebrated them the way I've wanted to, but now I'm really determined this year to go and celebrate more. And Hanukkah is kind of becoming my brand a little bit for writing, which is unexpected. So I've written now a few Hanukkah rom-coms, so I might write more.
I know. I've read some of your stuff, and I really want them to happen so badly.
Thank you, Carly. You've been so nice and supportive. I'm trying. We're trying.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, and don't hesitate to send me your new stuff or whatever.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much.
Well, there's every network out there right now is making 40 Christmas movies each. It's there's room for everybody to
I love
be writing.
That.
Yeah.
I had no idea before really I delved into researching this stuff and thinking about writing Hallmark style that just how much of a demand there is and how and also the writers in this genre are really nice and I feel like we help each other out. It feels less competitive maybe than other genres.
It's true. Yeah.
Just everyone is kind.
Yeah, I think that's great. I'm not remotely competitive at all because I just feel like I only have a certain perspective and experience of Christmas. I don't celebrate Hanukkah, so I'm I get your Hanukkah scripts in there. Yeah, it's awesome.
Appreciate. We were talking last night, Isabel and I, about what our favorite recent Christmas rom-coms have been.
Yeah.
More on streamers as well. And have you seen Love Hard? On Netflix?
I have seen Love Hard. Yeah.
That's kind of my that'd be my dream kind of script to write for the holidays. I feel I think it's PG-13. It's a little edgier, but also very heartwarming and sweet.
It's true. That movie was really cute.
So now that you have it sounds like you're getting opportunities every year for Christmas writing, which is so cool. Are you constantly coming up with premises that you would love to write, or are you now usually approached by a Lifetime or a Hallmark producer and they have a log line for you already? How does that work?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. now it's more common that I get asked to write a premise that the production company has already come up with. I'm trying to think, like the ones that are coming out this year. They were all three of them were premise like, well, okay, there was 2 out of 3 that they gave me the premise, and then the third one they gave me they gave me things that they wanted. Like the one called Yes, Chef Christmas, they're like, we want a movie about cooking, about family, and it's gonna be with Tia Mowry. Like I knew that from the beginning. So
so cool.
So she was very much like, we want to tell a story about sort of like trying to find the birth family. So I had like these elements. I just had to fit them all into one movie. And then I also write on spec still. I just love writing on spec. I don't know. I'm writing a Christmas one right now that I have no idea where it would go because I don't think would be right for Hallmark or Lifetime. But it's just an idea that came to me and I'm really having fun writing it. So I'm like, I'm gonna try and sell it, but I don't know where it would go. It's just like it's more of like an indie Christmas movie, which is different.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of exploring more like indie or edgy Christmas movies that are like kind of like for the person.
I do think people want that.
Yeah.
And the streamers, I've noticed, like, I'm mentioning Love Heart and other been, last year I felt like there were a lot more non-Hallmark, non-Lifetime, like streamer movies, like Christmas movies than ever before. And so I do think people want like, the edgier stuff too, but they also want the G-rated, cozy family stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely pushing more towards the edgier stuff just because my sense of humor is a little edgier. And so whenever I try to make jokes in my movies that I write, I'm almost always told to take them out. Like even when I think that they're quite soft, but they're like, no, take that out. So I'm like, oh, like I just want to be able to let my freak flag fly.
That makes sense. We were wondering about that too.
They always say like, we want to make it funny, and then I'm like, okay, and then I try to add jokes, and they're like, no, it's too much. So you definitely want it to be funny still. Like I think the best Hallmark Lifetime Christmas movies are when the actors are sort of like hitting off each other. I don't know what the right word is, like bantering, and there's like really funny little witty jokes between them. Those are the best ones to me. But I guess it's just like a really fine line where like when the comedy is getting too sort of maybe too slapsticky or something. It's just like you have to be very soft with the comedy.
Yeah. And we were wondering as well, like in the same vein, so it sounds like you're approached with an idea a lot of the time, or it's like kind of a loose mandate, which sounds really fun. I actually like having some parameters as like a writer. Like I think it kind of makes you be more creative sometimes if you just get like they're like, we want family, we want a chef. Like I think that can be really fun. Yeah. It's like vague enough to be creative,
For sure. Yeah.
So we were wondering, like, can you walk us through the process of from like, so you have the concept, maybe they tell you what they want, and then from like all the way to filming. You could talk about the one that we've seen now, Christmas by Design, or just the steps from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. So Christmas by Design, they approached me, Johnson Productions, and they said, read this book called Jingle Jammies, and we want to make sort of I know.
I feel like yes, of course I will read this.
Yeah, you don't say
Sounds very deep.
I know. Yeah. You don't say no to Jingle Jammies, that's for sure. So they sent me the book or whatever, and then I sort of pitched them what I see the movie being based on the book.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's actually fun. I've done that I think 2 or 3 times now. It's always hard because when it turns into a movie, you usually have to change quite a bit, which I feel kind of bad about, because I know like the author, I try to stick as close as I can for the author's sake. But yeah, so Christmas by Design started with a book, and then I pitched them what I thought would make a cute movie, and then obviously the network gives me notes. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I have maybe a stupid question. When you say that you pitched like what you think the movie should be like, is that a verbal like in-person pitch, or are you writing an outline, or is that I'm kind of just curious what the like what an actual
It's a
pitch
good
is
question.
like, 'cause I've never done that.
Yeah. I am so bad at verbally pitching. I don't know if you can tell, just being on Zoom with you guys, my eyes are over here. Like,
No,
I'm
No,
not
I haven't
confident.
noticed that at all. You're great.
We're the same way though. We're like worried about ironically
Yeah,
for
I know, yeah, we went through a
podcasting.
whole existential crisis.
We're building self-esteem for this as
Yeah.
well.
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
the microphone.
Yeah. I'm trying to get better, but yeah, I get so awkward. I stumble over my words and stuff. So I prefer writing like a one-pager,
Okay.
which often turns into a two-pager. But yeah, so I usually, for this one, I wrote out like the main beats and stuff and made it sort of a concise document. I think most people might prefer to do it verbally, but I'm like, no, I want to get my ideas down on paper and then we can go through it. So that's what I normally do. I rarely verbally pitch, which I should be practicing that more, but I'm a writer, okay? Like I want to write. I don't want to like be a, stand-up comedian. So yeah. So then the network gives me notes on the document that I send them, and then we go back and forth a little bit, and then basically once they're comfortable with like where we're at, they'll send me off to script for the first draft.
Okay, cool. And is there an average amount of like outlining rounds that you tend to do, like 3, or it just depends on the project before you can write?
Yeah, it's not too much because they kind of just want to get going,
Yeah.
So they give you like pretty basic notes, like, oh, we think the lead actress comes across a little too weak in this part, like we want her to be strong or whatever. It'll be just like, oh, the leading guy comes off like a bit of a, I'm just gonna say, I don't know if I'm supposed to swear, but he just comes off as a jerk, like, soften him up too. So anyway, yeah, just little notes like that. Sometimes it's literally just like a sentence that you're just like switching the wording around to make someone, come across like more what the network wants or whatever.
And how fast is the process? Like it must depend on the project, but like, yeah, like if you can tell us the timeline of maybe some of these projects.
Yeah, well, usually they give you at least 4 weeks for the first draft.
Okay.
I have done first drafts in 2 weeks. People have come to me being like, we're in an emergency, like we need a script, blah, blah, blah. Can you do it in 2 weeks? And I don't really have a life. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you have to say yes to that. But yeah, 2 weeks is fast. But
yeah.
I guess for these kinds of projects, I could imagine doing them faster than writing a biopic or something.
Yes. Yes.
Totally.
But I don't know. All in all, it's hard to say. It changes from project to project. But I don't know. Like I would say like 4 weeks for the first draft and maybe like 2 or 3 weeks for the second draft. And then there's usually a polish that you do within like a week. I don't know. Yeah. It could vary, but that's kind of what my experience has been.
Are you working on multiple scripts at the same time?
I have done more than one at a time, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
I would prefer to just do one at a time because my brain just kind of, I'm like, yeah, especially if they're both Christmas, I get like the names mixed up.
That would be hard if it's both Christmas, not like Christmas and
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely prefer to do like one script at a time. But if I get an opportunity to do like more than one, it's hard for me to say no because I'm just like, this is my job, I don't want to say no to people. But yeah,
for sure. And how long, with Hallmark and Lifetime, I know these are made pretty quickly when they start filming. Like how long, like Christmas by Design, for example, which is one we've seen and read. Yeah, like how long was filming, and were you able to be on set at all?
Not for that one. These movies are usually all made within 15 days.
Oh
so
my
it's
gosh.
really quick.
Wow,
yeah.
So fast.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I didn't realize it was that fast.
Yes, it's very fast, the filmmaking. So one thing I don't ever well, maybe I shouldn't say ever, but directing these seems very stressful because you're just going so fast. But sorry, what was the first part of that question?
You answered it, just how fast it's filmed. And then, you've talked
being on set.
Being on set, yes.
Oh yeah, are you ever on set for your movies?
Yeah, so, well, I don't have to go necessarily, but if I want to, I can, which is nice. I just was in Niagara Falls for 2 nights, and I just really wanted to go because the script is fun. It's like all zip lining and the jet boat and blah blah blah, and
Fun.
I wanted to meet the director because she and I had talked on the phone so much, that I was like, I really want to meet her and I want to meet the producer. So I would always recommend to writers, if you can be on set, you should go, even just if it's for a day, just because sometimes meeting the producer in person can really benefit you, like, because they'll get to know you and then they want to work with you again.
Yeah.
And like, and it's cool to meet the actors too. Like some of my childhood heroes have been in these movies and it's just very exciting.
Can you name a few?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tia Mori, come on.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She's
that'd be so cool.
icon. Bethany Joy Lenz from One Tree Hill.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that one of yours. That was really good.
Yeah, I know.
so
And
good.
like, I've gotten to know her a bit. Like, I have her number. Like, I can like just text her
Wow.
now, which is so weird to me because I was such a hardcore One Tree Hill fan. So now I'm like, wait, I just have Haley's number in my phone. This is crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
She's a musician actually too. I have like a song of hers now on like
Oh
a
yeah,
playlist.
she did. She
But I was
sang
like, yeah,
on
she's
Country House
good.
sometimes.
Yeah. She's very cool. She has a new song, Strawberries. I'm just gonna plug it
that's
for
the
her.
one on my playlist.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
If we ever figure out how to add music to our podcast, that
And if we
could be
can
the
not
opening.
get through copyright issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we could text her and ask.
Yeah,
We
we'll
could
text
ask
her.
Yeah, she's so great. Her and Andrew Walker have such great chemistry.
Mhm.
And then Sarah Drew was really fun to meet because she's from
Yes.
Grey's Anatomy,
Yes.
and I loved April Kepner's character, so that she was very cool to meet. So I don't know, and just the last actress I met, Jocelyn Hudden, I think is how you say it. She was so cool too. Like I'm just like, I'm very lucky to meet all these really cool, talented people.
Yeah. And it just must be so cool. Like that is definitely a dream of mine to just be on set and just hear a scene that I wrote just like played out in such a professional way. That sounds amazing.
It's almost kind of embarrassing, actually. I don't know. I'm like there and I'm like, it kind of feels like someone's just like, I don't know, like reading your diary. I'm not diary. But like, you're just like, ugh.
I so get that. It's like even reading out, like, I don't know. I would always cringe like reading a short story I wrote out loud to like even my family. I don't know. There's something like weirdly intimate about it. And I'm just like, just read it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. It does feel very vulnerable for some reason. It's just like, because, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like, I don't know. It just feels vulnerable. I don't know why.
I think scripts, Isabel and I were talking about this as well, that they're just a lot more revealing in some ways, depending on what script it is. Like, then even people realize, like, they'll never know what little hints from your life are in there and what, like, emotional truths can be revealed if you really dissect it. So
for sure.
Yeah, I feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything, even with these, like, MOWs, like, you're always going to put a piece of yourself in the story. Like, it's just a part of the job, I guess. There's always going to be a little something from you that is in there. So yeah, I don't know. But it's fun. It's cool. It's very cool to just see people saying words that you wrote and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's very
Do you
cool.
remember how it felt when you saw your first movie that you wrote the script for, and then did you get to like go to a premiere? Like,
I guess technically my first one is called The Christmas Parade, which is the one that I wrote at this company. But the truth of the matter is that I am a co-writer on it with a guy named Rob Vaughn, and I don't think one word that I wrote is in that movie. Like, I think he kind of took it over and then like kind of did a page one rewrite, and they were nice enough to still let me have the writing credit even though he changed everything. So it really wasn't until Snowed In 2017 where it stayed exactly almost to a T to my script. And then when I watched it, I was like, this is actually not a bad movie at all. This is actually a really cute, well done movie. Like, the actors are good. The direction was great. And like, yeah, I remember I was actually living in New York at the time, and I sat down in the New York Public Library, like the big one, and I just got the link to it, and I just sat there with my headphones and just watched it by myself.
So
and I was when I finished it, I was like, whoa, like that was actually good. It was no premieres. Cool. These movies don't really get premieres unless there's some like reason for it. Yeah, I don't get invited to like Christmas Con or any of that cool stuff.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask if you're going on the Hallmark cruise. Isn't that
Oh my
amazing?
I am not, but I should. That'd be so much fun to just randomly be on a cruise with all these Hallmark actors.
Right.
It'd be
That's
so
like a
funny.
premise in itself. Like you
Yeah.
could write a film about that.
Honestly, they probably should send you so then you can go and then write a movie about being on a cruise ship.
Gosh.
Yeah, 100%.
The Christmas cruise, it's gonna come out. Like, I don't know who's gonna write it, but
Oh
it's,
yeah,
it's
I
happening.
mean,
already
that
sounds
title
good. We
already
should all-
sounds amazing. The Christmas.
Yeah.
We should
cruise.
collaborate right now.
Yeah.
Cruising at Christmas.
I also
Yeah.
had a question about being on set. So like I've always wondered this for all films, but have you ever been asked to like write a last minute scene like on the spot or think of a joke that day or something? Sounds kind of scary.
Yeah, that sounds very pressured.
Yeah, I've only been asked once. It was on Snowden. Gary Yates was so nice to me. And he like really took me under his wing. That was the director, and he really wanted to give me like the full experience. So there was one part of the movie where, for timing reasons, they needed like a little bit extra. So they wanted to film the scene of Bethany Joy Lenz and Andrew walking up the steps of the inn, and they needed like a little piece of dialogue while they're walking up. And I had like 20 minutes to like go and write like a little walk and talk. That's like, it ended up only being like, I don't know, it's maybe like a 30-second scene, but I was like, this is so scary.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds
Yeah, that
really
sounds kind of
frightening.
scary. I feel like I would panic for 15 minutes and then
Yeah.
write something down in 5 minutes.
I know. Yeah, but it ended up being kind of cute. So if you watch the movie again this Christmas and you see the little scene of them walking up the stairs when they first arrive at the inn, just imagine me in the back just like panicking, being like, because that's basically how it went.
I can't wait to watch that movie now and then see what they say in that moment.
It's a really cute film. I really like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the better ones that I've done, I think. Yeah.
When does Christmas by Design come out?
It comes out Friday, October 27th on the Hallmark Channel, and it'll be at 8 p.m.
Ooh.
So exciting. Do you know what you're doing that day? You're going to just watch it live on TV?
Well, I'm in Canada, so I don't have the Hallmark Channel. And most people I know don't have the Hallmark Channel.
That's so ironic because it's all filmed there.
Yeah.
You write Hallmark
So-
movies, but you don't have access to the Hallmark Channel.
Yes, it's kind of the bane of my existence. Because every year everyone's like, "How do I watch it?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." So in Canada, it comes out on the Women's Network at some point. I don't have a Canadian premiere yet, but I have a link to it, and so I'm sure some friends, like my friends and family, love to just sit and watch. And this one will be fun because it's about designing pajamas, so it's going to be a bit of a pajama party.
Oh yeah.
I love that theme.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Probably
Will-
not until later in November. My close circle, they're not ready for Christmas yet.
You know what I've always wondered, and I'd be curious, Carly, if you've ever been approached with this, has anyone ever approached you with like a Halloween rom-com for any of these channels? Because I feel like there's so much potential with that topic.
I would love to. I love Halloween. I know Hallmark does like their fall harvest movies.
Yes.
I know. I should look into that because Halloween is really fun. So I would love to do that.
A witchy like rom-com is on my agenda eventually. I just don't have an idea yet. But I just feel like that's in the rom-com book world, which I've gotten really into. There's so many good like spooky rom-coms, but I've not seen that translate over to film yet, you know.
You should write one. That sounds so fun.
I really want to. Like there's a really good series that I really recommend to everyone called The X Hex. And there've been 2. It's a trilogy. The next one comes out next Halloween, so we have to wait a little bit. And it's like Gilmore Girls meets like Harry Potter kind of. It's really lovely. And it's very romantic and cute. So
you just sold me. I love Harry Potter and Gilmore Girls.
It's just like witchy Gilmore Girls. It's really cute.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, I just wonder maybe there's a reason why these streamers just aren't not streamers, Hallmark and Lifetime just don't like they like autumn, but maybe Halloween is a little too subversive, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hallmark has changed a lot in the last few years, and they're getting a lot more like progressive and they're moving away a bit from the typical like city girl goes to her small town. I mean, that's still a part of it, but they're starting to look for more original concepts and ideas that are just not as predictable as maybe some of their stuff. So it's a good thing to think about if you're going to be writing for them. They are more interested these days in like something a little bit more fresh and new.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and
Yeah.
more, it feels like it's moving in a slightly more like multicultural direction and more diversity and everything, which is great.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so back to Christmas by Design. So do you have like a favorite scene that you wrote, like when you were writing it, you were like, this is so much fun, and then we were wondering like the favorite scene in the film, like for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Favorite scene to write. I just think first acts are really fun to write. They always fly by for me.
Yeah.
I think like maybe like the scene where they are at Dee's cafe near the end of the first act, where they make their little deal together and they're making cookies in the back together, and all the characters are there in the diner like eating cookies and drinking hot chocolate. I think that was pretty fun to write because I've just never like a hot chocolate like pub crawl was sort of the concept. So I was like, that's sort of fun and cute.
That's a great idea.
In terms of the movie, I thought it was pretty well done, to be honest. I thought it was a really cute movie. Maybe like when everyone's playing charades, that's sort of a cute scene.
That's really sweet. I like that one too.
I like the scene where they're sitting in the old car together and he's kind of like trying to give her advice about not being so in her head about designing her new Christmas line or whatever.
Yeah.
I like scenes that are between the two lead characters and they're just talking to each other. Those are always my favorite scenes to watch. When they're just being like vulnerable and real with each other, and it's like more of a quiet scene. I like those usually. Yeah.
I really like their first kiss. I don't want to give spoilers, but I really liked how that setup I thought was a really cute way to.
I did really like that. I just realized that it's called Christmas by Design, and one of my favorite parts of watching the movie was all of their clothes, and that was like I just kind of put that together. That I'm like, but yeah, they were all dressed really nice, and they all.
I want
really
a pea
cute.
coat every winter.
Yeah,
I need a cute coat,
or like a nice
turtleneck
sweater.
Yeah, yes, it's true. I know the wardrobe people do such a great job. Yeah, and same with the production design team on that one. I thought it looked really good. Like all of it.
Yeah, it was high quality, and I've been noticing this. Maybe it felt really, really high quality. Honestly,
yeah.
Like nothing felt fake to me on this one.
Yeah,
they did a good job for sure. Yeah,
Dee Dee's diner was really cute. I was like,
I want to go to Dee Dee's.
Yeah,
it makes the whole thing, like the whole concept, really. It did make me feel like I wanted to go and like to a small town and like celebrate all these. Especially just because I'm Jewish, I never really had this much Christmas ever. Like it's kind of seeing it from the outside. Like I've celebrated things, but like it's just not going to be the same. You know, I've never had family doing all the Christmas things. And it just seems so cozy and fun.
Yeah, I know. The Elfcapades. That was from the book. It's such a cute idea.
Yeah, I love it.
That name too, the Elfcapades.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I liked in that movie because they let me, I don't think this was from the book, but they let me be a little bit more serious about the role that like a stepdad can play in people's holidays, and how that was like part of the reason why the lead didn't want to go home is because her dad had passed and her mom had remarried. And so that was something I never saw in a Hallmark movie before. It's just like that dynamic of a step parent and not being comfortable with like spending the holidays with them and having to like learn to accept them and stuff. So I really like that they let me keep that in. That was cool.
Yeah. And you know what I realized as well? I could not place the sister character and then I looked her up on IMDb, and she's an Anne with an E as the teacher, which is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Canadian.
Yes. If anybody is looking for a good show, watch Anne with an E. It's so good. So it was, I was like, she looks so familiar. I thought she was great too. I thought it was well cast, and I really did enjoy it.
Christmas by Design had a little bit more like a deeper, like some deeper meaning stuff in it. I really loved the part where I don't know, spoiler. I don't want to give spoilers away, but
well, can we spoil? Spoiler.
Well, I'll allude to it. I won't give away what happens, but when she's when she's kind of dealing with like her running her business and having more family time, and that sort of battle for her, I could really relate to, because
Mhm.
I used to have a small business, and like
Oh,
for me that was something I really struggled with, was like, oh, I want to be closer to my family, I want to spend more time with my family. And when you
yeah.
own a small business, it consumes your life. And so I thought
Yeah.
just those little moments for her, and I won't give away the ending, but like
Yeah.
I thought that when I was watching this, I was like, wow, this Hallmark movie is really getting into my feelings all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
What was your small business? Do you mind me asking?
I used to have a cafe. So I live in Los Angeles now, but before I moved here, I had a cafe. I was living in Hawaii, actually. And
Oh
so
my gosh.
yeah, I had a very different life a year ago.
Wow.
But one of the reasons I decided to close it and move to Los Angeles both was to pursue screenwriting, but also because I felt really disconnected from my friends and family. And
Yeah.
it's amazing because when I look back on the past couple years, just in this year alone from moving to LA, I've seen my family so much more. And like I'm spending
Yeah.
both holidays with them this year, Thanksgiving and Christmas,
Wow.
which I haven't done in a really long time. And so,
Cool.
yeah, so that was just like a fun little thing for me watching
Yeah.
this
Oh
was by
man.
design. I
Well,
felt
okay, well
like,
that's a movie right there.
yeah.
Owning a cafe in Hawaii. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
I know. I
I would
have
love to see a Hawaiian Christmas movie.
yeah, Hawaiian
seriously.
Christmas movie. Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah, write
I
it.
know.
Do it. And then you could go to set. That'd be such a great
Oh my
excuse.
gosh,
Like,
that'd
I have to go to
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Do
So
you think they
true.
would actually set it in Hawaii? Like, would it be filmed in Hawaii, or would it be filmed in Canada?
It
Until it's like
honestly
Hawaii.
depends.
At like a water
Yeah.
park. They'd film
Yeah.
it at like a water
Yeah,
park.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if they would fly everyone to Hawaii to film.
I mean, there's like bigger budget movies that do actually shoot in like Fiji and stuff for like
Oh.
Hallmark. But I am yet to have written one of those. But there are bigger budget ones that so
Well, this is a fun
yeah.
question that wasn't on our list. Like, which country would you set your dream Christmas
Ooh,
film
yeah,
in if you
yeah.
could get it made?
Well, this one that I'm writing right now, it's set in the Cotswolds of England.
Ooh.
Love it.
There's something about England that I just feel like it's so, I don't know, it's so romantic or something, especially at the during the
Yeah.
holidays, like
Mhm.
watching Bridget Jones and Notting Hill and The Holiday.
The
It just-
Holiday,
it just
yes.
seems like such a like sentimental, nostalgic place to spend Christmas to me.
I agree.
Yeah, I really want this movie I'm writing to happen so I can just go to England for like a month or something. Yeah,
Yo.
That's amazing. That has
Yeah.
to happen.
for sure.
As a screenwriter, are you ever creatively consulted for other aspects of the film, like casting or just other creative choices?
Not really. So it depends on the producer and the director. Sometimes they'll send me pictures of locations and be like, "What do you think of this?" Or they'll be like, "We're thinking of casting this person. What do you think?" But they're actually just being nice. I don't actually have any say. If I were to be like, "No,"
That's so
they'd be
cute.
like,
They're
Totally.
like, okay, we don't really care.
yeah, they're like, "We were just being nice." But I just sold one. I can't really talk about it yet, but I just sold one where I will be a producer on it.
That's so exciting.
It'll be my first producing credit, and that's when I actually get to have a say in casting and locations, and I'll be able to actually be on set, not just as a visitor, but I'm going to be on set as like part of the crew, which is really exciting. So that's been my goal for a long time. I've wanted to be writer producer for a long time, so you just have more control over your story, and you also get to be part of the movie making process, which is so fun. So yeah, I think unless you're a producer of some kind, you don't really have a say. That's been my experience though. Maybe other writers have a different experience, but that's been mine. Yeah.
Would you ever want to direct in the future as well?
I don't think so. I'm not really like drawn towards directing yet. Not to say I wouldn't maybe in the future, but I have directed like a really low budget thing in 2014, and I just was like, I don't think this is like my calling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys interested in directing?
I'm interested in being a writer, which I haven't accomplished yet.
Well, you're a writer.
So step one, become a screenwriter.
A produced writer. Yeah, never say never. Like in the old me would say no, absolutely not. But I also thought I'd never even do a podcast because I was like scared of speaking out loud publicly.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, so maybe my true self does want to direct, but I would say definitely producing and writing is the ultimate goal, right?
Writer directors are definitely like going in as like sort of a writer director is a more common thing now. So
yeah,
especially if you're a woman.
Yeah. It would just be
But-
cool to have creative control and like, you know, hire everyone, but I'm sure it's a lot of stress too. And I guess connecting to your podcast, you've also had the opportunity to interview directors and, you know, other creatives, which is really cool. Can you talk to us a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, for sure. It's called Teenage Dirtbags. Dirtbags is spelled with a Z or a Z, I should say.
Very Canadian.
Yeah. And me and my good friend Maddie, we review teen movies, and then the odd time we have a guest join us to talk about their teenage lives. So yeah, we've had Catherine Hardwick, who's
amazing,
the pretty prolific director of 13 and Twilight and Lords of Dogtown.
So cool. That's the episode I've heard. It's really good.
Yeah. And then we had Kiwi Smith on, who's the co-writer of all of the best movies, 10 Things I Hate About You, Legally Blonde.
Good. So
She's
good.
the man.
I haven't listened to that one yet.
Yeah.
It's out already, right?
Well, we haven't reposted it yet, but we will soon. Yeah.
I was like, because I would have listened to that right away if I'd seen
it.
Like,
how did I not listen to this yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's so cool, and she's been so supportive. I met her on Twitter. So that go Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's magical.
And then Biff Naked, she's like a punk rock musician from Canada that was a pretty big deal growing up. So that was really cool. We've had so many cool people. Amanda Shaw from Suits and Center Stage.
Wow.
So it's been very cool.
And you just interviewed the one I listened to last night, like right before bed, was
Elaine.
The one with
Elaine Hendricks. Yeah,
Meredith
so she plays
Blake.
She plays Meredith Blake from Parent Trap, and she was so cool. Yeah, she was so nice because like you don't know when you are about to record with someone how the vibe's gonna be, and she was just like, she was awesome. I was like, I want to be your friend.
Do you just really email these people or message them on Twitter or Instagram?
Yeah, I have no shame. I'm a cold emailer. I have emailed so many people, and people are always like, wow, I can't believe they say yes, but they don't realize that there's been like tons of people that have said no, you know?
Yeah.
So
totally,
so don't feel bad if you email people and they say no. It's part of it.
Yeah, why are Christmas movies so popular and Hallmark?
I think with streamers, with streamers, and you can make them really cheaply and people like them. I don't know. I don't really know why the last 10 years they've exploded. It's a good question.
We were kind of talking about this yesterday, we were right. I feel like people just like watching these movies like to get into the holiday spirit, or I don't know. I feel like I go through that phase where I'm getting ready for the holidays and it's cleaning, or I'm doing all my like tasks at home, or I'm wrapping presents, and it's just kind of nice to have on, even if it's just on the background, or it kind of just adds to the spirit of it. And I think it just kind of is the escapism in a bit, right? It makes you like go into holiday world land, and
and I also think just like the state of our world has been a little heavy, and so I think rom-coms kind of shine during times like these. Like I remember when I was a kid, my Big Fat Greek Wedding, what made, it obviously made like $1 bajillion, but part of the success of it was that it came out like really soon after 9/11, and people just wanted to like laugh and be in the theater and not thinking about like, all that crazy stuff. So I think it's maybe a similar thing. It's just like things have felt heavy in the last little while, and it's like it's kind of nice just to be able to escape into Christmas land, where the biggest conflict they have is like, a fashion, contest or whatever. Warwick's Christmas design. Yeah.
Okay, so we have some like quicker questions for you. So the first one, or as of now, it's called Quick Fire Round. But let us know if you have any
we need to come up
rom-com.
with like a cute rom-com.
Okay.
name for
we
this.
want like a meet cute questions, but not that, like some sort of trope. I don't know what yet.
Okay, I'll think on it.
Let us know.
Yeah.
So the first question is, okay, this has to do with your podcast. Who was your favorite podcast guest on your own?
That's hard, but I'm gonna say Biff Naked. She was just like an icon of mine growing up, and she's very badass, and I just think she's awesome. So yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite rom-com and why?
Okay. Now I want to know your. Can I ask you guys the same question? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Mine is My Best Friend's Wedding. Why? That's a good question. I just think Julia Roberts, in her prime, and what's his name, Dermot. I always get those two actors mixed up.
Dermot, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's Dermot Mulroney.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. I just think he's such a attractive, like, great actor. And the premise is just fun. I don't know. I like how it doesn't have your typical perfect ending too.
Yeah. That one I'm not as familiar with. I'm sure I've seen it, but it's been a while. Like, I don't have it clear in my head right now.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
I almost
Great
watched
writing.
it the other day.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your
favorite? My favorite, so I mean, I have so many. I think that one that I always say is Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
So I just grew up watching it. It's very nostalgic. I grew up in Seattle, so just seeing all the sets, like, just driving by the houseboat and driving by all these different areas felt like I was in a movie. And I love Nora Ephron. It's just the coziest, sweetest film.
I know. I love that movie too.
I think my favorite one is 10 Things I Hate About You. I watch that movie all the time. It never ceases to like make me just die laughing. Love Heath Ledger
so good.
in that movie.
Yeah.
Like R.I.P. But I just love all the cast. I feel like everyone is so good in that movie. The writing is so spot on. I love the story, and I really love Julia Stiles. I actually just watched The Prince and Me last night, and I realized how much I love
that
her.
one. She should be in more rom-coms now.
Yeah, I know she's
great.
But Heath Ledger and Kat Strafford. Like,
I love Kat Strafford.
She is changed my life.
Yeah. She's such a great character. I saw this really cool edit. I sent it to Isabel. With like an Olivia Rodrigo song with like Kat Strafford scenes, like, and it was like I think her newest song, like American Bitch, or is that her newest song? Like Olivia, and it just works so well.
Oh man,
I think I probably because when you sent me that, and then I think I was looking, I think I was just reading up about it, or I was looking into Julia Stiles, and I think I realized that Kat Strafford definitely like impacted my life as a childhood. I definitely looked up to her. Like, she's like one of my idols. And
I think, honestly, I'm not joking, I think she was like my first like female idol.
Yeah, I know, same here. I know, I realized that. And I think it's also part of why, because I lived in Seattle for 5 years, but Aviva and I didn't know each other at the time. But I think part of why I wanted to move there was because of that movie, specifically because I wanted to do the paintball thing at Gasworks Park,
which they don't even
which isn't real, but
it's not real, which is like devastating.
Yeah, like Seattle seems so edgy and cool. Like, I want to Kat Stratford and go paintballing.
I know. I'm gonna come visit you, Aviva, because I've always wanted to go to that school with the big.
That's in Tacoma, right?
It's in Tacoma, and I've never been either, which is weird because I could drive there. But I would love to go with you. That'd be so fun.
Weekend trip to Seattle and to Forks, which if you guys haven't been to Forks, you'll love it.
That's just one of my favorite activities is going on a trip specifically for a filming location. Like, I just get such a kick out of that.
And we'll FaceTime Kiwi while we're doing it. She's from Seattle.
Can we go with you?
Can she come?
I know she comes to this area sometimes.
Yeah, she's from your area, so you might see her at the grocery store sometime or something.
You never know.
And
there's also the island nearby. I can't remember which island. I live on a different island than this one, but where Practical Magic was filmed. I believe it's Orcas, but we have a bunch of really beautiful islands, and sadly the house itself I think doesn't exist. It was like a movie set in Practical Magic, but I think there's some other things to see.
Cool.
You can see
this sounds so fun.
There's so many so many cool locations.
Oh my gosh, I am actually being serious. I will actually
Yeah,
come.
please come. That'd be great. Okay. Favorite Christmas rom-com?
Okay. I don't know. I guess it's a rom-com. It's more of a family movie, but I love The Family Stone. It's I don't know what it is. I just love it so much. And then I would say The Holiday. Yeah.
That's in my top 3 favorite films, I would say, honestly. Top 3 or
Yeah.
5. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's the music. I mean, it's Hans Zimmer, I think. It's just like gives me such feels, you know. It's so good.
Yeah, I just took a rom-com class, like online through Alana Bennett, who's like a TV writer for XO and some other really cool projects.
Oh, cool.
And we read The Holiday. It was like a Nora Ephron, Nancy Myers class, which was like my dream.
Yeah. Wait, what is it called? I want to take it.
Yeah, I can send you the link.
Please.
Yeah, I think she is going to teach it again. Her name's Alana Bennett. Like I found her through Twitter. Someone sent me her link. I'll send you the link to her website. Okay. I don't remember what it is, but it was so fun. We just like read a bunch of Nancy Myers and Nora Ephron scripts, and then talked about the films and stuff. And
so cool.
So anyway, I read The Holiday for the first time, and I was surprised I'd never actually read it before. I'd just seen the film so many times.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I love Jack Black in that one.
Yeah.
Okay, your favorite rom-com trope to write, or just in general? Or some good ones, like enemies to lovers. Yeah, whatever you like.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just wrote a rom-com that it kind of plays on this trope a bit, but the whole running to the airport to confess your love. It's overdone now, but I don't know, it's classic. And it was fun to write because I kind of played with it a bit, but yeah, it was fun to write it.
I agree. Yeah. I've written one of those as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's so sweet.
Yeah.
Like run.
The airport is so romantic. Actually, like Love at First Sight, which recently came out, which didn't have a chase scene, but to the same way, but just like airports are romantic.
Yeah, I just watched that. And I don't know if I've been working like the Hallmark game too long, but I was like, why isn't this movie called Love at First Flight? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's true. Why didn't they call that?
The whole time I was like, why? But maybe it's too cheesy for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite rom-com outfit?
Oh, I mean the peacoat jacket. That's a great response or reply. I don't know, a chunky sweater, a chunky fall sweater.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good
so
Christmas rom-com outfit.
Yeah. Anything that like could be in a Nora Ephron movie. You know, I feel like Nora Ephron, she would dress her characters really cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like Harry Sally.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go for like a chunky like turtleneck sweater.
Love it. I need one of those in my life.
I know. I need one too. That's how I felt after watching Christmas by Design. I was like, I really need to get some turtleneck sweaters.
She just looks so polished. Like she just always looks so put together. Like, even her pajamas. I mean, nobody knows that's what the film is about. But even like when she was lounging around the house, I was like, I never look that put together. Like, she has a stylist.
That I would say though is maybe a little pet peeve I have about some of these movies where I'm like. There's a scene right where they all wake up in the morning and they're all just like in makeup, hair, like they all look amazing. I'm like, this is what I look like when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah. I know.
Make you feel a little bad about yourself.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm like, do other people wake up and look this amazing?
And have like a matching set with no stains, like like, perfect makeup.
They walk around their house in jeans.
Yeah.
I've got like drool like across my cheek.
Yeah, right. My skin's
I did laugh. Yeah, I did laugh when I saw that on like the very first scene in Christmas by Design. She's waking up after like falling asleep at the table, and she just has the most perfect hair and makeup. And I was like, come on, at least smear something.
Yeah.
That totally works in films, but I always wonder, like, I've never been able to fall asleep without like lying down.
Yeah, just
I don't know. I've seen that in films all the time where like people just are able to sleep in random locations. I don't know. Yeah, no, but I've seen these in even non-Hallmark and non-Lifetime, just like I'm particular about where I sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Do you have like a favorite rom-com moment or even like line of dialogue that might come to mind?
I'll stick with the my best friend's wedding answer, because there's something about the scene where the two characters are on the boat together and they're going under the bridge.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if like the music is kind of swelling a little bit, and like he says to her, when you love someone, you just have to say it. You just like can't think about it, you just have to say it. And then like she like waits like 2 seconds too long, and like the moment passes where she could have, you know, said it to him. Oh, I know. And like that movie, like there's a lot about that movie that's cheesy because it's a 90s rom-com, but that scene, I swear, like every time I'm like, it's so beautiful. Yeah. I
love
really
that.
love it. Yeah.
I'm gonna rewatch this one because, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Have you seen any rom-coms that you'd recommend recently, I guess?
I thought Love at First Sight was pretty good.
That's really cute.
Yeah, Haley Lou Richardson, she's definitely like an up and coming actress to watch for because she's really good. I forget what the guy's name in that is, but he was great too.
Their chemistry was
I thought it was really sweet, and they had all the elements, like the British guy and like just the airport romance. And I've seen that one twice now. I thought it, and the music was really lovely, like the "I Want to Dance with Somebody" song. I've listened to since. I just thought it was so lovely.
Yeah, they did a good job with that. And then I went to the theaters this past summer and saw No Hard Feelings. And I don't know if it got like lost in the shuffle of because Barbie and everything, but I thought it was really funny and really good movie. I mean, it's obviously raunchy, but I thought there was a lot of like heart to it, so I liked that one.
I have yet to see it, but it's on my list. I will watch it soon.
Yeah,
it's like I saw it in theaters too. It was definitely a good go see in the movie theater.
Yeah, I didn't expect to laugh as much as I did.
Yeah,
so.
Same here.
Yeah.
There are not that many comedies like that anymore. Like the R-rated, like it felt like, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but like kind of American Pie energy.
Very much so. Yeah.
I just love Jennifer Lawrence's like sort of quirky, awkward, like very forward character in that. In her
and like there's a scene where she's nude.
Yeah.
And
fully nude.
She's fully nude and it's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, only Jennifer Lawrence can pull this off where you're like, she's so beautiful but like she's naked and you're just laughing.
I do. I love that when like the kids don't expect her to come out of the ocean and then she's like running towards them like fully naked. I was like, wow, this is hilarious. But
yeah. She's just marching towards them. Yeah.
So funny.
So good. Yeah.
Okay, just a few more questions.
Yeah, sorry.
If money didn't matter, like what's a rom-com you'd make right now?
Like if it didn't already exist, or
like you could do anything, magic wand movie.
Maybe the one you're currently writing, or I don't know, just a certain kind of film.
There's a movie that I'm still tweaking it, but there's a movie I wrote called Wife Material, and it's a rom-com, and I would love for it to get made. So if I had the wand, I would choose that one. I think it's more personal than anything I've written, and it's funny, and I just feel like it could be really cute if the right actors were in it.
What's on the horizon for you? Do you have any other projects coming out soon? And like, where can people follow your writing and shout out your podcast so people know to go listen?
So my Instagram, it follows the rom-com theme. It's You've Got Smale. My last name is Smale, Smale.
Love that. So awesome.
Yeah. And then my Teenage Dirtbags with a Z podcast is the other one. And then I have 3 Christmas movies coming out this year. So there's Christmas by Design, which will be out Friday, October 27th. And then Navigating Christmas comes out sometime in November. And then Yes, Chef Christmas comes out in December.
That's so exciting. And I saw you posted on Instagram that Norah Jones has a song in one of your projects.
Yeah, I just learned that. Yeah, that's
so
super
cool.
Exciting. It's very exciting.
Which project is it?
It's for Navigating Christmas, so it's the one in November.
So cool. She's so amusing. That's awesome.
I know. I love her. So I'm very excited about that.
my gosh. I
Yeah.
think Yes Chef Christmas is going to be super popular because everyone's obsessed with the bear. And just that name alone is going to like, I'm already excited to watch that movie.
Yeah, that one will be on Lifetime, not Hallmark.
Lifetime. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well, Carley, thank you so much for coming on. This was so fun.
Thank you. This was really fun.
I'm so glad we all connected. And I'd love to all of us get together in person one day.
I know. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. This is really fun.
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm a fan.
Yay!
Bye.
Okay, see ya.
Bye, Carley.
Bye.
Awesome. That was such a great chat with Carley. Super cool to hear more about her. So this has been an episode of When Isabel Met Aviva. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to stay up to date with our episodes, please subscribe. Bonus points if you leave us a positive review. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at When Isabel Met Aviva and on Twitter at Isabel Met Aviva. We're both on Instagram and Twitter. If you have questions or need advice about your screenwriting career or just want to obsess over rom-coms with us, my social media is just at Isabel_K_T. You can find the link to it on our When Isabel Met Aviva podcast. I'm not super active on Twitter, but it is at It Writes Comedy. Aviva, you are more like, I feel like you have yours, both of yours are the same. It's a little easier to remember yours.
Yeah, so I'm just at Aviva Pelton on Twitter and Instagram. Those are the main places where I write updates and random things about rom-coms. So would love to interact with you there. And yeah, thank you so much for all your support, guys. We are so excited about this project and so excited about what the future holds for our podcast. So we will see you very soon. And don't forget to write as many rom-coms as possible and watch as many and just talk about the rom-com.
Yay, rom-coms.
Yes. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.